today. From NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. It's Week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Texans taking over offensively, and it is, of course, Deshaun Watson who leads them out at quarterback.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
On 2nd and 7, Watson out of his hands quickly to Higgins.
That's good.
That one a first down pickup of 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So often you hear that pep talks don't really work in the heat of the battle, but collectively, this defense has to say to each other, we've been on our heels this whole first drive. This is where we need to dig in. And they got a nice stop right there for a loss on 1st and goal.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Now Edwards-Helaire. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Play number 8 here on the opening drive. This is 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Watson. Open man is Cooks. He's got it. Touchdown, Texans. Brandon Cooks. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Offense.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Back to throw. Hastings to Michelle on the screen. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. From the gun, Hastings. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
The numbers for Johnson in last week's game: 22 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown.
10 touchdowns on the season for him, and I don't know whether these goals are written down. I don't know whether they're discussed amongst the team, but I do know this. Every guy who touches the ball as a ball carrier thinks 10 touchdowns is a nice round goal to try and reach in a season.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he's got this down to the 35. 16 yards, a first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
That's out to the left flat and complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 more yards there and another first down. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Taken down at the 22-yard line.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Hastings. And, oh, my goodness, what a catch at the 6.
Complete.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, they have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And the Bears are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Texans 7, Bears nothing.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. They lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Makes the score Texans 7, Bears 3.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
After the run, Watson going to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From the gun, here's Watson. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
If this is what you wanted to see from a defense, give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
It's taken to the 26. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Holding, receiving team.
Oh, man, can't do that.
A pretty good return, all things considered, but holding.
I agree with you totally. It was actually a return that they were going to be very proud of. But when you end up holding and bringing it back, now your offense has to start a little bit deeper in their own territory.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. And some room to maneuver. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. There are times on carries like that where he looks a little bit older than his rookie status.
How many times have we talked when we've gone out to dinner about how precocious these youngsters are that come into the NFL now? They play at a higher level at a younger age. The stars aren't quite in their eyes as much as they used to be, huh?
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
The play fake. Hastings. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Hastings. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Hastings. And that's caught by Smith. And he will have the Bears first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. There, they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Michelle. And Michelle will have the first down and more. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Sony Michel, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Houston set to take over. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Operating from the gun, Watson. Able to find Higgins. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet. Get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and the Bears take over. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Well, now he's looking just to add to his totals. On 1st and 10, Hastings, and this is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Hastings. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Number 86.
A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point right down the middle, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And now out comes Houston, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
It's caught left side by Cooks. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 43. Following the fumble recovery, Hastings. That's into the hands of Edwards. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an op. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. And the lead is now 24. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken about 7 yards deep. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. From the gun, Watson. And he'll look underneath here for Edwards-Helaire. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. To the air yet again, Watson. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time, the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go.
Mike Badger.
Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now, a penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. On the ground, this is Michel. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Hastings. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. The open man is Smith.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Hastings. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Edwards. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want ball.
Well, the ball is out. Michel lost it, and the Texans scoop it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in the meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
First down now. Here's second down. Following the fumble recovery, Hastings. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well. And he didn't get that done on that play.
On third down, Hastings. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Akeem Hicks drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
We focus our attention on the Bears defense now. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was trying to get that to Edwards-Helaire out of the backfield. That'll bring up second down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute.
And that's caught inside the 30. That's good. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Escaping the pressure right. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Badgley's kick is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now the 2nd down throw on target. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
They'll run on 1st down. Michelle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Keeping it on the ground on 1st, Michelle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, Hastings. And this is going to be hauled in. Oh, what a catch at the 10. A very a solid gain of 27.
Well, we know he has pretty good hands on display there. In fact, he only needed one of them.
Yeah, nowadays, all these receivers work on this, right? They do the one-handed catches off the machine in practice. They do it with their quarterbacks. They do it contested, uncontested. They make it part of their repertoire.
Trying to pound it in here with Michel.
And the Bears are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line.
It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal. It's a quarterback sneak. Trying to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He did it. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And this Texans defense comes up with a goal line stand. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
All right, so the call stands. Tough now. They're out of challenges. Do you like the amount of challenges they have in the NFL?
I do, because I think it brings a little extra strategy into the game about a head coach trying to determine when is the right time to pull the challenge flag, or maybe I let that one pass because I might need it later on in a bigger situation. Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the end zone, Watson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and they're going to have a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
This one complete into the hands of Higgins.
And he is going to have a Texans 1st down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
2nd and 5.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And I think the ball's out.
Watson on the keeper. A fumble on the play.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Watson looks to throw again. That to his running back, Edwards-Helaire. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. T. Higgins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans cut into that lead.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Now, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And it's Michel once again. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Ball carrier. Bernardrick McKinney on the tackle. A 5-yard pickup on the play.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Again, it's Michel. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. On the ground, Michel. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Sony Michel with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bears will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10.
Operating from the gun, Watson. Looking sideline, incomplete.
T. Higgins was the intended target.
And now it's 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Throwing again is Watson.
He'll find his running back, Edwards-Helaire.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Oh, man, come on.
Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
Always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
Watson on 1st down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
First down.
On 1st and 10, Watson. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And they move this all the way down to the 9. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining.
Texans first down. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Again, it's Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans get a bit closer. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. When you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. They worked out for 6. And this is going to be taken in by the Bears, and it appears they're going to win this game.
Recovered by.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Today's
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Chicago, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.